Hello and welcome to another two-part episode of Wildlife Cam. Been very hot lately for the last 4 or 5 days, getting up to about 40 with a bit of humidity. And those are the lions that were here on Sunday evening, taking the usual route across to a neighbouring property. And because of the heat, we've had a lot of action at the waterhole, so I had to split this one into 2 episodes. It's been years since our resident pair of jackals had any pups, so I'm not sure if they're just old and have stopped breeding or if their babies aren't surviving. And the female on the left is the one missing the tip of her trunk that we had here a little while ago. We have quite a good view from where we are, so every afternoon we get to watch all the thunderstorms all around us. None of them have reached us yet, but they do leave the clouds behind overnight to trap in the heat, and then the next morning the clouds all disappear and it bakes down again. Luckily we had some good early rain, so the animals aren't in danger of starving to death anytime soon. The lions have split up again. So there were 3 that came in this afternoon, and this was the 2 females with the sub-adult male, the one that had 3 cubs a few months ago. Now we haven't seen the cubs for a while, but it looks like the female is still lactating, so they might be around somewhere. And the lions on Sunday were the 2 adult lionesses with the 4 older cubs. And then a little while ago we saw, I think it was another 4 lionesses with 8 cubs. So They came together temporarily and have now dispersed again. Now this male is a very lucky boy because he's at the age where he should have been chased out by the resident males, and luckily for him, 2 of the 3 males that were resident here, they've moved over to a neighbouring property and they hardly ever come here. And our main resident male seems to be dead because we haven't seen him for months, so this guy gets to hang around with the females indefinitely, which is very good for him because if he was chased out being on his own, he'd have very little chance of surviving. The males aren't the best hunters, especially on their own, and he wouldn't be able to take over a pride on his own either, so he would have had a rough time of it, like the last one we had in this condition, who ended up, apart from being beaten up by the resident males on a regular basis, he ended up being gored to death by buffaloes. So as long as we don't have any new males coming in to take over, he should be alright. And also, if he hangs around for long enough, the older cubs, there are 3 males in there, and they might form a coalition with him, and that would be quite an intimidating group. The 2 lionesses disappeared and never came back to the waterhole, but he was obviously still thirsty. This was about half an hour after the lions had been, and he was a very nervous impala. The place must have just stank of lions. And this is the Turner's thick-toed gecko. It must have recently shed its skin because it's a lot more colourful than they normally are. Only a slight adjustment to the camera there, no damage done. Two spotted dikkorps, or thick knees. Dikkorp is Afrikaans for thick head, so I don't know which is worse, thick head or thick knees. And this is a white-tailed mongoose. I wasn't too sure about it because I've never seen white-tailed mongoose here and I haven't seen anyone reporting them. But I did ask a local expert and confirmed it, so that's quite a nice one for us. Similar to the Meller's mongoose that we've had here before, which does sometimes have a white tail, but the white-tailed mongoose is bigger and taller, not quite as stretched out as the Meller's mongoose. And a pair of water scorpions heading off on a romantic adventure. Thanks for watching.